Welcome home. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. We are Baltimore Positive, positively getting you through the 4th of July and the big holiday. I'm going to be down at the Heritage Fair this weekend. I'd love to see some familiar faces. That's me shaming all of my Dundalks out there. I will also have Maryland Lottery scratch-off tickets when I move from Dundalk to Canton on Tuesday morning. We're going to be at Di Pasquale's for the first time ever. Sausage and peppers and onions for breakfast. We're doing a morning show there. Before it gets too hot, Pete Caringi stopping by, Dan Rodrigues, Joe Giordano, some soccer hooliganism, some journalism, and some Italian food down in Canton. I'm looking forward to that. Then on Thursday, we will be at Costas in Timonium. I'm wearing a state fair shirt. It's not the state fair like where the lottery comes and Timonium. Costas is now where the state fair is. State fair is still in Catonsville, and we're going to be over there in August doing our 27th anniversary. We're going to be doing my 27 favorite things to eat, like legitimately 27 favorite things to eat around the state during the month of August. And I'm actually going to hook up with this guy face to face. Sometimes I'm in his office over at the Maryland Lottery building, wiping my feet off on Pittsburgh Penguins floor mats, or staring at Terry Bradshaw or the Willie Stargell growth poster that he has. Seth Elkin is filling in this week for John Martin. He is all things communications for the Maryland Lottery. And he, along with Roz and John Martin, provide his happy 4th to you. I hope you have some good plans. I mean, I'm just doing the barbecue thing and the Heritage Fair thing and some summer beverages, maybe some hot dogs and hamburgers. I mean, that feels 4th of July, but you're giving money away around there and all sorts of, it's a big week at the lottery, right?
Yeah, we really had a big week. We love giving away any prize amount, but boy, we had some big ones last week. We in the last week here, we've had 4 prizes of $1 million or more that we've had.
So hold on. Last year we went through this. We're like 36 $1 million or more winners, right?
I think it was 33 for fiscal year 24.
Okay, it's 36 the year before. I mean, I remember there were numbers in the mid 30s for how many $1 million winners there are from the Maryland. That's a lot. That's a whole lot.
And we squeezed in one last one on June 30th. Which is the end of the fiscal year. We had that multi-match jackpot that got hit. It was a $1.8 million multi-match jackpot, actually shared by 2 different people. There was a winning ticket that was sold in Silver Spring at a Giant store, and then there was another winning ticket in that drawing that was sold at a Food Lion store in Ocean City. So the grocery store, once again, is the place to be.
I've been to that Food Lion on the way down to Chickatink. I know exactly where that Food Lion is.
So yeah, we had 2 people sharing that $1.8 million jackpot in the last multi-match drawing of fiscal year 2025. We're now on into the state's fiscal year 26, beginning July 1st. So, but 34 different prizes that were valued at $1 million or more that we had during those 12 months from July 1st of 2024 through June 30th of this year. So lots of big wins. We had a couple of them. One that you and I talked about last week was that Gold Rush Progressive Fast Play game that had topped $2 million, and we talked about it.
I knew somebody's going to hit it. It's a $30 play, right? I'm like, this is when you should be peaked up, is when there's that much money at stake on a $30 jackpot. That's kind of when to get in. And I knew it was going to get it. I mean, it was working up on record number, right?
And you just never know. And it was Friday afternoon when we were winding down the day, and all of a sudden we get the notification. There was Mutt's Liquors in Indian Head in Charles County that sold that ticket, $2 million prize. And you're right, that is the 3rd largest fast play jackpot that we've had in the history of that type of game. We launched the fast play games in February of 2020, so they're just over 5 years old now. And that is the 3rd largest. We had a $2.9 million and a $2.6 million along the way. And this one got up over $2 million and got hit and was claimed on the 1st of July. So we're very happy for that winner. And
not a lot of Marylanders have been to Indian Head. I've been to Indian Head. I know where it is down in Charles. You drive right to the end to the water, and there it is. It's like a whole military thing. It's right across the water from Woodbridge, Virginia. It's way down south in Charles County. So we got winners all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. All over. We had a $1 million scratch-off winner in Elkin last week. We had another one in Essex, a $5 million winner, I think, that you and I talked about. So Some really big ones, and of course the multi-match that got split between Ocean City and Silver Spring. So winners all over the place, as you mentioned, and lots of big prizes. We love closing out the fiscal year with a bang with those four big $1 million plus prizes that we gave away.
All I remember is I went to a really good dessert shop in Indian Head. I had some coffee. I worked my way up. I had just left the casino up at MGM. So I did the whole state. That was a couple years ago. This year we're doing my 27 favorite things to eat in 27 days. All are brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. We're going to be out on the road. I'm doing about 9 shows in the month of August for our anniversary at all of our favorite places. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm trying to celebrate, even though I haven't won 2 million bucks here. But I mean, you guys are giving dough away. We saw that the Mega Millions got hit last week too. My wife noticed that, like on Friday night, she's like, "I gotta buy tickets," and she didn't buy. And then we went. We were at Royal Farms getting some chicken, and wah wah wah. Somebody hit. But big winner, right?
Yeah, it's been hit three times now, just in the last few months. This one was a little closer to home than some of them have been. That was in Virginia that it got hit. So we're hoping we get another one here. It's been a little while, but
When's the
certainly,
last time you had a walk off? When's the last time like you got the middle of the night somebody hit for 100 million or hit Mega Millions or Powerball
that
in our
that
state? It's been a while, right?
we
Since
had
we had
that
like a big one.
Powerball, yeah, the $731 million Powerball jackpot in Lonaconing. That was January of 2021, and you're right. That's what happens. You get the call or the text in the middle of the night, and you find out that you got a jackpot win, and you spring into action at that point. We sent people out to Lonaconing, out to the store that next morning, and lots of waiting for the winner. It took a few months before they came in and claimed, but yeah, it's exciting. There's a burst of energy definitely that happens when there's a big jackpot roll going on. So
Well,
we're
if I won
hoping for one of those here pretty
731,
soon.
was that it? 731?
731.1
If
million.
I lived in Lonaconing and I won $731 million, Lonaconing is like just a giant hill and a road going through it. It's a cliff, it's out by where the mountains are.
Right.
Streams, beautiful, beautiful area, Lonaconing. But it's also the home of Lefty Grove Park. And you being a baseball guy, me being I would go to Lefty Grove Park and I would ponder my $731 million and have 731 million reasons. Seth Elkin is here. We like to talk a little baseball from time to time. A little weird that you and I would talk about art because the only art that we know the only real art was on a bubblegum card in the 60s, right? I mean, we
That's
know
right.
that as sports fans around here, but there's a big art thing. And I noticed this and I sort of let the cat out of the bag a little bit last week. I haven't really interacted with this, but this is an interesting thing because we talk about where these scratch offs come from and the 888s on the Back to the Future and the fun little games that we play on the scratch offs. But you're trying to sort of create something different here. This is like a real artist, Maryland artist submitting their work and have their art on a scratch off, right?
Yeah, we are really excited about this thing. On July 1st, we launched the Maryland Treasures Art Contest. We are seeking submissions of original artwork by Maryland residents, and we're going to pick some of them and use them as the designs for Maryland Lottery scratch-off tickets. The contest, the name and the theme both are Maryland Treasures. And the idea is that we're looking for artwork that celebrates the state of Maryland, that captures elements of the state's history or landmarks or culture or traditions. We want a ticket that people are going to look at and say, wow, that is uniquely Maryland. And it'll jump out. It'll be something that looks different and feels different than any of the other scratch offs that we've done. This is the first time we've ever done a contest like this, and we're really excited about it. We've been thinking about it for a while and really happy to get it off the ground. Maryland Treasures Art Contest. You can go to mdlottery.com and find all of the details. It's mdlottery.com/call for art if you want to go directly to that page. And all the information, all of the rules, and the process for submitting your artwork are all there. And we're really excited about this. I think we're going to get something really creative that's going to look different and feel different. But it's also a way of us connecting with the community. And you and I talk about this all the time. That's a big piece of what the lottery does. We exist to generate revenue for the state of Maryland, to generate a revenue that supports all sorts of programs and services that people rely on every day. But beyond that, we're out there in the community making those connections. We are a supporting sponsor on site at fairs and festivals and all kinds of events, charity events, 60 or 70 different events where you'll find us throughout the year. And we kind of feel like this art contest is another extension of that connection that we have with the community. And we can't wait to see what people come up with. We know it's going to be creative. We know it's going to be something special for us. So we've been looking forward to this and really happy to launch it. And
Call for Art. I mean, I've called Art Donovan. I've called Art Modell. I haven't called him lately. But the Maryland. So I'm going to read this off right off the website. The state's natural beauty, culture, icons, landmarks, and history are a source of pride for Marylanders from Oakland to Ocean City and everywhere in between, including Lonaconing and Indian Head. The Maryland Lottery wants to celebrate what we treasure most about Maryland by having artists capture it to share it with our entire state. So the winning entry, $4,000 for each winning entry, 3 pieces of art will be selected. I had some submissions up here of like Fort McHenry and some sort of Oriole bird and some sort of, I don't know, ocean sort of, I don't know, Van Gogh sort of palette going on here, sort of Starry Night or Ocean City Night. But here's the thing that I have a question about. And look, you're just a communications guy. I happen to know the executive director. I could ask him. But it says here that there is going to be a panel of people that pick this criteria of the art. I need to know who's on the panel. I need to know who the artistes are that are going to select the artistes. That's what I want to know.
Well,
I want to be on the panel.
We have a little bit of an idea. We got a few people in mind. We haven't actually formed the panel yet. The entry period goes all the way through August the 15th. So we've got a little bit of time.
Someone called me an artist. I'm an artist of some kind, something like that. This is art behind me. This is the kind of submission we'd have, right? Like a watercolor of downtown Baltimore and all of its grandeur and glory. Like that's the kind of thing you're looking for. Horses, grazing, thoroughbreds, Camden Yards, Ocean City, iconic Maryland things, maybe a Key Bridge motif or something like that, right?
I'd go for a plate full of crab cakes. If somebody wants to give me a picture.
You're giving me ideas about crabs. There's just so many things that like I say this to people all the time, and one of the real joys of even me bragging about Indian Head or Lonaconing or these strange little small places that a lot of folks haven't been to is that my crab cake tour has gotten me out to see. Like, I don't say every place. I've had a crab cake in every county. I did that the first summer. So getting off the side of the road, the state's so beautiful this time of the year. So celebrating the state's awesome. I love this idea. You said it's been in the works for a while. Somebody came up with a good idea over this. This is a great idea, actually.
Yeah, as I said, we've really been looking forward to this, and I think that panel when we have everybody together and in a room, I think they're going to have a lot of fun. That's going to be one of those assignments that probably a lot of people will be interested in taking part in because it's going to be fun to sit and look and see what artwork that we get that connects with that theme the best. So that Maryland Treasures theme. And as you say, I think there's all kinds of inspiration out there for people to use to create the kind of artwork that we're looking for. And we can't wait to see what people come up with. It's going to be a lot of fun.
By the way, here, everybody knows me. I can't even draw stick figures. You know what I mean? Like I'm not an artist, right? I mean, a little bit here and there, sketchy, sketch, etch a sketch or whatever. But my first thought was, AI. I'm learning AI. I mean, this week I'm learning. I mean, like I am really using 4th of July weekend to get AI'd up. And it says here, no AI generated content.
It needs to be original. We want somebody.
My best artistic skills will involve roughing out the edges of AI, probably for the rest of my life. AI is going to make me more skilled, but not in this particular competition.
No, we want to make sure it's original artwork, and I think it's going to be great once we select those artists to introduce them to the public. I think that's going to be part of the promotional end of this. Once we get closer to the launch of the ticket, it takes a little bit of time to get the tickets designed and produced. The Maryland Treasures ticket actually is planned to go on sale in March of 2026. There's going to be a little bit of a lag in there as we get ready, but we'll be getting to know the artists and help the state get to know those artists. And I think it'd be a great opportunity for them and a great showcase for their work.
What's the deadline on this? When do people, if they've, because I'm assuming a lot of people have already drawn really cool stuff. There's stuff. I mean, going to the farmer's market on the weekend, you see great art all over the place. And, from obeying the Orioles and the Ravens to sort of whatever the things would be that were iconic here. There's so much art already out there that could be entered that people don't even have to create art. It's taking something that's already on their wall.
Mhm.
What's the deadline on this?
August the 15th is the deadline
It's
to get your
quick. All right,
artwork
coming up.
in, and then we'll be evaluating in the weeks after that, and then we'll go from there. So you got a month and a half. We opened up the entry period on the 1st of July, so very excited to get that started, and can't wait to see what happens.
I just want to know who's on the panel. That's all. I just want to know who's making decisions. Seth Elkin's making these decisions right now. He is our communications chief of all things at the Maryland Lottery as we go through winners and money. And do we have any other winners stories before I get any further back into this, before I start talking about the Orioles not hitting enough home runs for you?
I think we covered the main winter stories. That multi-match was real big earlier this week. That we got that in right before the end of the fiscal year. So I think we're in pretty good shape on winners, and waiting for the next ones to show up here.
Hey, we had
Happens
5
all the
million in
time, every
Essex
day.
last week. You can't do better than that. All right, home run riches. This is where you play the Ed McMahon role and you do the timpani and you tell me how many we got. And this is where I say not enough. Not enough grand slams, not enough home runs. We're not running John Martin right. He's just off because it's a holiday. He's not off trying to figure out how to pay off all these home run riches winners. But the good news is, as you've pointed out, some crappy pitching coming up later on in the month for some people that do get their names drawn.
Hey, and first of all, as you and I are talking, your boy Gary Sanchez, who you had some disparaging words about his defense not too long ago, as I recall, he hit one off Jacob DeGrom last night that I saw. So
Yeah. Well, not enough off of Jacob
yeah,
DeGrom
that's
is
not
what the
easy to do,
problem
though.
is.
That's not easy to do. DeGrom pitched a pretty nice game for the Rangers. So,
I want a pitcher like DeGrom, not one that's hurt, but I want one like him.
we've got one in Pittsburgh.
Well, we had Corbin Burns for a minute. We had Bradish for a minute, but it's just different when you roll out good pitching, right? I mean, whether hurt, injured, however how much you pay for it, seeing Scooble do what he's doing, right? Yeah, making
Yeah.
any money, but like just seeing what your guy in Pittsburgh's do. I mean, seeing excellence from pitching cuts down on home runs, and this makes John Martin's life a little easier.
But yeah, as you mentioned, we're gonna get some chances to hit some homers here coming up this month with the weather heating up, and the Orioles will be going up against John Martin's Cleveland Guardians, so maybe they'll get some there. But again, the what I've got circled is that series against the Colorado Rockies when they come to town July 25th, and we're actually going to be at that game. You can find the lottery set up on Utah Street before the game
So
starts.
they could get hit with a home run.
So we'll be there
Potentially.
cheering on for Ryan Kyler of Newmarket. He is the contestant of the game for that July 25th game. So I have a feeling we're gonna see some home runs hit out of the park those 3 games with the Rockies in town. But yeah, so obviously a lot of fun. We always keep track of that, and more than $105,000 worth of home run riches winnings paid to the contestants of the game so far this year, and still counting.
Well, I think we hit everything here other than just the fact that we have some cool fast play games. We haven't talked about pressure luck, roulette, Monopoly. These are games that are not scratch off. They are like out of the machine, but also still fun prizes, fun games, and anything that involves the whammy. If I can bring the whammy into the conversation, I'm all for doing it.
I loved when we did that because we've got a pressure luck scratch off game as well. And I don't know about you, but that was one of the game shows that I remember watching. I really loved that game. So a lot of fun, a lot of nostalgia. That's something that we kind of go back to on a regular basis, is nostalgia for pop culture items like game shows and like Back to the Future, as we've talked about. So we'll have a lot of fun with that kind of thing.
And let's make a deal as well. So I can't wait to get the pictures of the people that headed out to LA here this month. Seth Elkin is with the Maryland Lottery. He'll be watching baseball this weekend, doing the 4th of July thing. We're going to be doing our Maryland Crab Cake Tour. We're going to be back out on the road at Deep Pasquale's on Tuesday, giving away the Back to the Future scratch-offs, my last batch, including on Thursday at Costas in Timonium. We'll be joined by Congressman Johnny Oshesky on Thursday. Also, Steve Rouse, longtime morning show host and legend. I've never had Steve Rouse on my show. I certainly was never on his show. My ratings weren't good enough to be on his show back in the day. And then on Tuesday, just a beautiful day in the morning. Former UMBC Final Four coach and my pal Pete Caringi coming back to the homeland, not Highlandtown, but Canton in the morning at the new. You've been to the new Deep Pasquale, Seth. I mean, you're an out of town guy. You got to come and enjoy the beauty of the new Deep Pasquale Squallies is unbelievable. I hadn't been there. I went in about a month ago. I'm like, I got to do the show here, and I saw Joe. So we're doing the show there. So if you haven't been, make sure you check it out. Tuesday morning, Dan Rodricks will be with us, Pete Caringi, as well as Joe Giordano, who's a award-winning photojournalist who did a really cool thing with Bethlehem Steel down at the Museum of Industry that I'm going to talk to him about, as well as a million other things. So, Crab Cake Tour's heating up. I'm giving away scratch-offs. You got more scratch-offs coming down the line, right? We're going to have Ravens things going about a month from now too, right?
Yep, that's on its way. Ravens tickets and second chance contest will come in August. So be on the lookout for that. And particularly that second chance contest, we give away season tickets for the current season. So there will be people that win 2025 season ticket packages. And in order to get in on those drawings, you got to get your Ravens tickets and get them entered pretty quickly after the Ravens tickets go on sale. So be on the lookout for that. But of course, lots and lots more chances to win in the Ravens second chance contest because it goes on throughout the football season. It's just that first drawing comes up pretty quickly after the tickets are launched. So looking forward to that. That's always a big deal for us every summer and a great promotional partnership we have with the Baltimore Ravens.
And for those of you who don't know much about Seth Elkin and my relationship here over the last 5 years, if you do win those season tickets, you will have a chance to see the Pittsburgh Steelers play late in the season. And, I know you're not a betting man because you work for the Maryland Lottery. You're not allowed to be. But if you and I placed a friendly wager as to whether Aaron Rodgers would be upright and what the record would be, Steelers have had a hell of a week signing guys, though, right? I mean, Steelers signing players this week. We must say that.
The last couple of years, I don't know if I recognize this team anymore because they never used to do this thing in the free agent market. They never used to do this thing with making blockbuster trades the way they did this week. So it's interesting to say the least. I don't know that it has turned them into a contender because I think you got to leapfrog a bunch of teams in the AFC. You're just up against a real tough group of
competition. Got a Hall of Fame quarterback, though. You do.
At the end of his career, yes. At the tail end, the very end, the last vestiges of his career. And I don't know, that would be an interesting little side wager, whether or not Aaron Rodgers will still be the quarterback, the starting quarterback of the Steelers for that game late in the season against the Ravens. I don't know.
The Jets were perceived to have a lot of talent around him. I think the Steelers have talent, and I don't know what's going on with the TJ Watt thing or whatever, but in a general sense, every year, this time of year, I make fun of you. I give you a hard time. I send Mike Tomlin some nasty texts, and every year I look up, and it's November, and they're trouble, and they have a chance, and they're not 2-9 like you think they're going to be. They're 6-5, and on the way to beating you to be 7-5. Like, that's just the Steeler mojo. And, I look at them and say they made themselves a better team in the last 2 weeks than they were 2 months ago. I'll say that.
Marginally. Yeah. I think I would grudgingly agree with that, but you got to see them produce late in the season and you got to see them show up for a playoff game and not get blown off the field the way they have the last several times they've been in the playoffs. So it's been a little discouraging, but I think at least they're making moves. They're making attempts to change the roster, particularly that defense that got slashed and gashed by the Ravens in that playoff game in January, and that there are a lot of new faces now on that defense. The people that were there on the field getting beat up by the Ravens are not going to be there this year. So that's at least a step in the right direction.
I remember making fun of Bubby Brister and Mark Malone and all them. Just down the line, even Neil O'Donnell, though he was a Terp. But the Aaron Rodgers thing, I wouldn't want him to be my quarterback, but it's better than what they've had the last couple of years. I'll say that.
Perhaps. We'll see.
I can't even get a Steelers fan to talk trash. It's July. Get your game face on, man. You're not going to do it with the Pirates.
Hey, we're a tough audience. We got 6 Lombardis. The expectations are high,
Still talking about the 70s. I tell you what. Seth Elkin is here, one for the thumb and all of that stuff. He is with the Maryland Lottery. He communicates for the lottery, but not for the Steelers, and certainly not on behalf of the Pirates ever around here. Home Run Riches is alive. We're doing the Maryland Crab Cake Tour. Deep for Squallies on Tuesday, Thursday at Costas. Oh, and by the way, following week, we're going to be at 1623 Brewing in Eldersburg, and also a very special morning coffee edition of the Crab Cake Tour at Zeke's over in Lauraville. That's going to be in the the 18th. So lots of crab cake tours this month. We're getting the 27th anniversary. The 26th oyster is going to turn. I don't know what I'm going to do for a 27. I'm going to try to figure something out with a 27 in our logo around here. On August the 3rd, we turn 27 years old, and I'm going to be featuring my 27 favorite things to eat. And because you're not from around here, I'm just going to say two words to you because it is the season. Peach cake. That's all I'm going to say. Peach cake. It's the time of the year for peach cake. So if you know anything about me, you know that's going to be in my top 27. I am Nestor. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Maryland lottery and winners and all that good stuff in MD lottery and Baltimore positive. Stay with us.